simple.
Here's
Simple.
another comment that I found. Here's another comment I found interesting. Someone had a problem with me giving Kendrick's voice a 7.
I don't.
I think that, you know what, I know people are gonna think that we're piling up on Kendrick, and we're gonna get to Kendrick's catalog, which I think is something that we really have to start breaking down, which is a great catalog in my opinion.
We about to get to these two
Um,
mixtapes and these three
but
albums, Mike.
I think the one thing that Kendrick lacks the most, and I say this because I'm a Kendrick fan, but people that I know that don't really rock with Kendrick like that, it's because of his voice. And I think that's one of the weaker points in his game. And so, yeah, I think Kendrick's voice is a 7, just like Jay Z has said that his voice isn't one of the strong parts of his game.
It's not. His voice is very interesting.
His voice is
And
an acquired taste.
yes, that's what I mean about it's interesting is like sometimes you hear it on certain tracks and it works extremely well for those tracks. And you can marvel at his brilliance and how he uses the voice on those tracks.
I think it affects his versatility too.
There are other tracks where you hear him and it's like, well, he tried too much on that, or just vocally, I didn't like the way he came off. Like vocally, that beat's not for him necessarily per se.
Yeah.
He can get into a groove with his voice and be brilliant. I'll give you the example of the song that everybody loves so much, and I think we all consider to be easily one of his top 5 songs, and that's Money Trees. Well, vocally, he's great on there. That's not some of his best rhyming performance stuff, but vocally, yeah, that's some of his best stuff right there. But he doesn't always vocally come off that way. And that's what I would say to that. And when people say that he's great, voice-wise, they're talking about the different things that he does with his voice.
Well, people in our chat are agreeing with what we're saying. DeCarlo says his best friend hates Kendrick's voice and says that's why he can't listen to him. And right. I also saw someone say that they would have given him a 4 on voice.
So even with something like, you remember Biggie's voice on Gimme the Loot?
Uh-huh.
I don't ever want to hear that voice except for on that track again from Biggie.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that.
You see what I'm saying?
Nas the Goat says something with a super chat.
It's the papers. I don't ever want to hear that again from Biggie.
No, you're right. Because he's somebody who has a much better voice than that.
It's not even a clear indication of his talent, but I see what he was doing, and the back and forth was necessary and all that.
Kendrick does that voice a lot, though. You know.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I mean is that like when you do it the way that Biggie did it on Gimme the Loot, and you kind of leave it there, it kind of can get held in classic mode, and you can deal with it because it's just that one song, and so it's more cinematic. That's what I'm saying. That goodness gracious, the papers, where the stash at, where the cash at, nigga, pass that. No. When you do that one time, it stays. But when you keep on doing that shit, no.
Nas the Goat says, I honestly don't feel that his legacy should be downplayed because of other idiots. His legacy is and will forever be a 10, Coop. I mean, I see where everybody's coming from with that.
No. That's cool. Let's talk. Let's talk about this 5 album / mixtape legacy compared to everybody else's legacy. Y'all keep holding them up against. That's what I'm saying.
No, he's talking about Nas, I think.
No.
Yeah. He's talking about Nas' legacy. But Kendrick's voice. Yeah, I think it's an acquired taste. I think 7 is even kind of generous. I think it's the weakest part of the great Kendrick Lamar. And I think Kendrick Lamar is great. I think he's a great lyricist. I think that when we think of great lyricists, voice really plays a big part in it. And I think that J. Cole having a much better voice than him is why J. Cole's able to be more versatile and work on a lot of different tracks with other individuals than Kendrick is. I think Kendrick messed up Goosebumps, in my personal opinion. Travis Scott's hit record, Goosebumps. I want to touch my lie again. I mean, it just, vocally, he didn't sound right on there. I mean, the delivery and all that's one thing, but it starts with the vocals.
You know, here's something that Kendrick and Jay do have in concert, is that vocally speaking, that is the least impressive part of both of their games to me in terms of what they bring to the table. But it's like,
and I think Jay has a much better voice than Kendrick.
I think Jay's voice can do more that keeps your attention long term. Like a lot of the stuff. And here's why I don't love Kendrick's voice. A lot of it is very I don't even know how to. What's the word? Where it's like it kind of catches your attention, but it's gimmicky.
Yeah.
It's gimmicky.
I can take it because I respect him as a lyricist.
It's meant to catch your attention, but it really doesn't stick to your ribs and stay with you like it should. I'm going to give you an example. It's like I love DNA, but I love DNA so much more after I haven't heard it for about 3 or 4 months, and then I go back and listen to it. It's not one of those songs that I can go put in every day vocally because of what he's doing on the record. It's
kind of like a caricature, right? Because when Kendrick, I've seen Kendrick just rhyme. Like when he was rhyming on Tony Touch's show, when he's freestyling there, he's using a regular voice. So like he was on Black Lip Bastard remix where he's like, Black Lip Bastard, pass me your password. Where he's like, look inside my parking garage and see a collage of every person I despise since the moment I turned 5. Like he's not doing all of those things with his voice. And I think that people could take that in a little bit better if he was rhyming in that way or using his voice in that way. LP says, with the super chat, he says, Nas went platinum before and after Pac and Big died. He gets all the respect from the streets. Coop's still salty at vibe. Yeah. Oh, another person, Damian Harris says.
Let's stop for a second. Hold on. Let's stop. No. Let's stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Barely went platinum before they died with It Was Written. Like barely. Like don't be framing that shit like he was out here balling. Like he had barely went platinum.
If I Ruled the World had a lot to do with that.
It Was Written was #1 on Billboard's top 100 for 4 straight weeks. So it went platinum relatively fast. But if you go look at the work that he put in, you're damn right it was supposed to go platinum. Mike, you and I on Wednesday went through 5 guest verse appearances that he did between Illmatic and It Was Written that is like, and all of them are epic on top of If I Rule the World coming out, on top of the fact that, this is Nas.
And you're returning from Illmatic,
Right, it's Nas and you're returning from arguably the greatest rap album of all time. Right.
Yeah, all eyes are on you at that point.
So when he making it seem like it's like Nas, it's like, no. Nas wasn't out here balling like that when Pac and Big died. You know that shit.
LP says Kendrick used that alien voice too much on Good Kid, Mad City. It ruined a few others on that album for me. He didn't do that on Section 80, and you're right. His rap voice was a lot different on Section 80. That alien rap voice, I feel like that voice is very Andre 3000-esque from Slim Cutter Calhoun's song "It's Okay." And for the young people out there who might not know that record, go to YouTube and look up "It's Okay" Andre 3000, and that's when he was like, I love my man. We got ups and downs, and I get lonely, and I'm like, that's Kendrick's whole style.
Hey,
what?
I used to run Slim Cutter Calhoun up at Velvet and Strokers, and you're right, Mike. Vocally, he took Dre's whole shit on different pieces of Good Kid, Mad City.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about it. He incorporated it so well into his style that it felt influential and not like he was jacking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nod Corp says, Kendrick's giving me Nicki vibes.
It's very problematic.
That's funny, but she's right. With that character in the, what is it, Roman or whatever she calls her character. Yeah, but I think that's kind of how that theatrical voice is taken.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, look here. I be telling people, okay, so when you hearing rappers rap with different voices and different tones, I'm just gonna tell you something that I know: mental health issues. That shit is not something that it's like easily pulled off. Like Slick Rick. I believe Slick Rick probably suffers from some sort of depression or anxiety. I believe Biggie, mental health issues. Mike, I think DMX's mental health issues documented.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you use that other voice and you're able to pull that off so well, that might be great for music, Mike. That might not be great for your personal life. You might mentally, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're creating characters, like schizophrenia is real, bipolar is real, multiple personality disorder is real.
It is real. It
That
is
shit
real.
manifests itself in small ways, and in major ways, it manifests itself on records. That's why I was telling you, like that Biggie shit, you hear it once, you never hear it again.
No, they heard that voice somewhere at some point.
Biggie talks a lot of dark and dense stuff, Mike.
Mm-hmm. He did. Rusty Nail says Eminem influenced Kendrick. Rigger Ross says Kendrick is a huge 3,000 biter. Huh. It's funny when you say it in that way. Okay, so I think Eminem's voice would be very low too when we run it through this, these categories. I think that's probably one of his lower marks. I never really liked Eminem's voice, even when I did like some of his songs. Like I think one of my favorite Eminem songs is like Role Model. I like Eminem when he's on that.
I think when I like him, when I like him vocally, I like him vocally when he is inflecting his voice the right way, a la Dead Wrong.
I was gonna say I kind of like that one, but the one I really like, I like him on Amityville. Like I like Eminem's voice on Amityville. When he's rapping like that, I could get with that.
No, that's that guy.
Yeah.
No, that guy's a problem.
Now that I can get with.
No, that guy's a problem. The guy on Dead Wrong and on Amityville's a problem.
Yeah. Because he's doing some things vocally on Amityville that a lot of other people can't do. It's like it's a mix of rock and rap almost.
No, he's vocally there, lyrically there, delivery there. Yeah. No.
I also like him on I Remember, where he was dissing Everlast. His rap verse on there, dope, in my opinion. Jordan House says Eminem's great vocally on Renegade. He is.
Yes.
He performed well on Renegade.
No. His performance on Renegade is